This week is a little bit of a combination week. I'm combining the idea of communication with chapter 3 of our text as we started to get into what kinds of layout work really well for design. And one of the reasons that I bring up communication is something that you guys have already touched on a little bit. Think about distractions. And I know that in last week's discussion we were talking about RS Animate, one of the services that will create dry erase animations that accompany TED Talks. It's a very fascinating area of design for me personally, but sometimes we get distracted by design. So if you take the Shannon Weaver model that you see on screen, and I give you a link to in this week's activities, you can see that you have a sender, then a message is encoded, disseminated through a channel, where it's then decoded by the receiver. In a nutshell, that's what we're talking about. So when you think about the world around us, whether it's an infographic, a billboard, a website, a news outlet, whether you're looking at the video or the print-based article, anything, think about who is the sender, how are they transmitting the message, who's the receiver, how are they decoding the message, and then within that, are there any attributes to the channel or the medium that are creating noise that distort the way that you interpret the message? That's kind of why we talk about communication this early in the semester. So this week, you're kind of giving that broad overview and you're taking a look at communication. You're looking at the different types of visuals out there because perhaps the type of visual can influence the noise that's received or how you decode a message, and the role of design in all of this. So you are looking at that chapter 3 of White Space is Not Your Enemy to get some ideas on layout as you work through this week's activities. Let's take a look at this week's expectations. Use the on-screen navigation to access another section of this week's overview.
Just after sunrise.